Shalom, shalom. So, this is a part 1 concerning this second commandment, the greatest second commandment, as Yeshua said. It is written also in the Torah that about loving our neighbors as we love ourselves. So, the question there, I will stick on the second one, which is, how do we love ourselves? So, in the superficial, in this physical world, how do we love ourselves? We love ourselves by through nourishing what is from this fleshy desire. All what is mga desire na to, mga lust na to, mo na siya loving. Kuno hay gi-feed na to, we feel good. When we go to somewhere, we feel if we have so much money, we feel good. We can buy that. We satisfy our flesh, everything. So he's happy, right? He's happy. Nga he is in shalom because you have your money, and you go there, you travel somewhere, you go abroad. You enjoy the life. But is that really the loving ourselves? Is that what Elohim said, to love ourselves? To nourish all what is in this material world? Do you think that is a love of yourself? I don't think so. Because if you read the Brit Kadasha, it is not so. What the teaching of Yeshua and the teaching of the apostles in the old Brit Kadasha is not about nourishing our, because if you are in Mashiach, what does Yeshua said? I am not belong to this world. I am in this world, but I am not from this world. So if you are following with Yeshua, the Messiah, and don't think that is the loving of yourself, to nourish all what is your fleshy desire, just to have peace, just to have a comfort of your flesh, of our flesh, that we are loving ourselves. That is kind of love from the physical world. The flesh only, that is the loving of the flesh. But what if you are in Mashiach? Is different to love in Mashiach. What is to love in Mashiach? It's different. So the loving of Messiah is very, very, very challenging life, because we will have to leave what is from the material world, and this is our exodus, is our coming out of our Mitzrayim. We start from our pagan traditions, all this birthday, Christmas, mga New Year nila, unsa pa na ilang mga tradition in the world. We're coming out from that. But the second is our inner person. It must come out from the imprisonment, because that is the most what is the battle nowadays. This is our battle that we have to overcome, because if we don't overcome with that, then the time is too late. It will be a very hard coming out of our own Mitzrayim. Because why? The more you are clutching, when somebody will snatch on your bag, you will hold to the point nga di jud nimo buhian ang imuhang bag para dili siya makawat. Kung ingana ta naggunit sa atoang material world, it will be a very hard way to let go, because it is in our own control. But the challenging is when it is not in our own control. And what is that? It is in our flesh. It is in our flesh that we are not in control. So this flesh, our carnal nature, if we are not free from this, then that is the most, and this is the last part, to be redeemed by Mashiach. Because if we are not last to be redeemed by Mashiach. Because if we are not ready to be redeemed, if we are not ready to let go with what is from our flesh, our character, our ego, if we are not ready to free, to let go from that, then we are not ready to be healed. We are not ready to be healed. Dili ta wala tay shalom. When we love ourselves, we need this inside to be in shalom, in harmony unto Elohim. And how do we do that? Because mostly in our journey, we are encountering, and this is now what Yeshua is doing. What Yeshua's work in His first coming is to work out with our midots, our character traits. This is what we have to do. Because as long as we are not ready, Mashiach cannot come to redeem us. But the moment we are in shalom to ourselves, then the moment we're in shalom, this is our hour. That is when we love ourselves. So those say that about loving yourself from your feeding yourself with the material things in the material world is not loving of Elohim. Is not the what Yeshua said, the greatest commandment is to love yourself. In order to love our neighbors, we first love ourselves. And how do we do that? That we can love our neighbor when we have our conflict from our neighbor. How do we handle that? So, here is my discussion from that. So, shalom, shalom. Shabbat shalom. How do we love ourselves? How do we love ourselves? This is now, because it is written, love your neighbor as you love yourself. This is a challenging topic because you know why? How do we love? First to know, when we love our neighbors, how do you do? Good, right? But if you have argumentation, if you have conflict mo sa imuhang neighbor, how do you love him? How do you love her? When you have conflict from your neighbor to the people around you, they are around us. They are around us. So, from outside and to the inside, how do you handle that? Now, this is the first thing. When we are in Mashiach, when we are called in Messiah, the roles is different. If you want to be in the house of Elohim, there is a role of Elohim. And this is what we are doing. We study the Word. We study the Word of Shal. We study the Word of Mashiach. We study the Torah. And we will apply with that in our life. There is rules. If you want to come in the house of Elohim, you have to abide the rules of Elohim. Not our rules. You don't do that with your own rules because it will be a very hard encountering to ourselves to kanang mo accept ka mo abide ka sa rules sa Elohim because kung mo abide ta sa rules sa Elohim, very difficult, I tell you, because it will be a counterfight with our flesh. We will have a battle in us, our flesh and our spirit person, which is in Mashiach, Yeshua HaMashiach, because it is redeemed, the spiritual person, but the flesh is not redeemed, and this is how we work on it. So now, the question, how do we love ourselves? Kung we keep on punishing ourselves. How do we punish ourselves? Mostly, kita tag mga argumento, kita tag kalalis. What we do? Mo pagawas ta og mga negative emotions. Kapoy na siya. All is bitterness, resentment, hate, mga kalagot. Unsa pa na? Kana siya mo na siya. Sayop na mo na inya na sayop sa iyang mga gibuhat nga na. Always pointing to the other side. Don't you know? Don't you know when we are doing with that, that is, we are hurting ourselves. Do you love yourself when we are doing with that to others? Do you think we love yourself, we love ourselves if we are doing that all this resentment to other people? Because they are wrong, they are kumsa, you do that, sayop ka, and you think you're only the right one. You do want. Don't you know? Is it not kana siya? When we do that, we are projecting who we are. We are projecting who we are in ourselves. We are hurting ourselves. We are not. Do you think you are healed from that because you think you win the argumentation? Because you accuse your brother, you accuse your brethren, you accuse the people? Do you think you are win with that? No, we don't win. We punish ourselves. We let ourselves in suffering. Why? Because we are full of resentment. We are full of bitterness. That is the projection of ourselves when we do that. Because if we are not able to see ourselves, nga kita, we don't love ourselves. Kung di ta makarealize nga how do we love ourselves? To love ourselves is to give ourselves a shalom. If we have a shalom, then we are healed. This way we say it takes time to heal. The more we keep going to project others with our negative emotions, negative thoughts na to, unsa gipagawas na to, whatever, mag-gossip ka niya, mag-evil tongue ka niya, mauna siya. The more we are doing with that, the more we are punishing ourselves. We beat ourselves. Why? It's painful because we are not healed. You don't have shalom from that. The more ka mag-inquire siya, good, mauna na siya. Always accusing others. And do you think you are free from that? You forget what you are doing, all what unsa imong gipagawas? Do you think you are healed because you win the argumentation? I don't think so. Because as long, I say this is only for the body of Messiah, for those people called by Elohim, as long as we are not ready to have shalom in ourselves. Because do you think you are in shalom? No, we are not in shalom. We are not healed from that. Because don't I tell you, this cycle, it will be a cycle, it will be a loop. When we think we are right, when we think we are sakto ta, and we are not learning from this situation. They are not learning to our situation. We always projecting, mana. We are not learning. If we don't learn that, what is the lessons of that encountered or your conflict? What lessons to give you? This is the moment that we have to think to better ourselves. What is the lesson? Is to let go. If you want to be free from that, if you want to have shalom, either we are right or we are wrong, we have to let go. We have to let go. And I tell you, this is not my best position. I tell you, it's not. It's not my best position. I can accuse others because they behave like that. I am become more hurt from that. Why? You have to think, I am become more hurt. Why? Masakitan ka. Why? Even you have a rejection. Why? Masakitan ka. Because if we are called by Elohim through Messiah, in the body of Messiah, there is a soul. And this soul is only one. One soul in Mashiach. This is why the pain in the parts of the body, we feel the pain. But if we are in shalom, in us, if we work out our shalom, if we love ourselves, to love ourselves is to give shalom, to be peace, is in a healing process, and we don't have to feel any resentment from others. We have to let go all this negative energy, because this negative energy is only pulling us down to us a carnal. I shall speak about that. The carnal, fleshy will not pleased by Elohim. It's very difficult because I have many people I keep stop my contact because I don't want to have fight. Yes, they are part in the body of Messiah, but we don't have the same walk. If you want to keep, because in this world, the nation of Israel the nation of Elohim has chosen is the house of Jacob, and that is the house of Judah and the house of Israel. So if we're continuing to bark one another, this is only division. It's better to have peace to one and everyone and not to have hatred. Mubiya ta. Di ka mag-resentment anak nila. Sayon pa inyong dili likaya na nimo mga resentment nimo nila. Gatuo kang sayon na nimo i-let go. Dili na magdalig let go. Until you have to pray and ask for rescue unto Elohim. Rescue me, Abba. Help me to grow. Help me to grow. What unsay bot imo ipa? Abot nga mag-grow ta sa atong self. We mature. Because when we are mature, then that is the start of our circumcision of the heart. Mas-circumcise ang atong heart. Then they are really ready to share with our nga di nakamadutlan ang mga childish o mga immaturity nga mga bandage pagkaayo sa ato ang pag-walk. Especially sa atong mga karakter. Mga karakter na to nga na atay mga karakter nga puros ta sakto. Di ta mo accept og kapildihan. The one thing very hard thing to do is I'm sorry. The most thing you can say, I'm sorry. But I tell you, before I met my husband, I already worked out that in myself. Why? Because my relationship is dili makita. It cannot be seen by outside. My relationship is with him. You know why I have this relationship? Because he is the one who gives me life. And I'm really grateful for that life. And I want to make it closer with him. So this is why I am not so sa outside ba. I am not care so much outside from all. That is the way they live. So all this futility in life. No, I have relationship to the one who gives me life, to walk in this life, not in my own ways. I accept what I receive in this world, because I know when before I came to him, I decided to came to God. I told him, because I was really in sin. I was in sin, and I can really say, I am ready to be mamatay jud ko tungod sa ako ang sala. Mamatay jud ko tungod sa akong sala. So, it happen na, hapit ko maligsan sa sakyanan, hapit ko daghan to mga point nga, I don't remember now, but I was begging because it was uncontrollable sa akong self. How to handle, di na ko makaya ang own strength to overcome sa sin. So this why I was asking, help me to go out this. I know you are not pleasing with this, and I cannot justify myself just to go on my flesh. And that was my battle. So I was asking him to rescue me so that I can overcome that. So it was very hard in the beginning because I put myself in the cocoon. I leave all my friends. When at this time I separate myself, and I began to thirst, to nag-uhaw ko sa iyang pulong. It was beginning of my thirsty sa iyang pulong. So that was, so can you imagine all the gap? It was 18 years ago, and now I'm not finished with myself. As long di buhi pa ta, dili gyud ta mahuman ani ato ang maturity, ang atong pag-grow na to. Kay nga naman, when do you are going to flourish? When this light of Mashiach, the seed of Mashiach were in us, nga dapat natong patubuon. Mo na ha, patubuon. Dili matubo ka diri sa intellect. Ang imuhang karakter may matubo. Nga ikaw will learn to be humble, to humiliate yourself. You know how to kanang ma-please ang Elohim sa imo, and you will be a vessel to use for the master. So, if we are not ready to heal ourselves, then, kung naa pa ng kinaiya natong magsigitag accuse sa uban, karnal pagyuta, fleshy pag yun ta. If we are not able to say sorry to others, forgive me, if you are not ready from di pag ita kaabutan ng mga butanga, I tell you, you are not healed. We are not healed. Because why? We keep on the suffering. Nag-suffer ta na inside. Pain pa na sa atong inside. Kaya naman na patay mga resentment sa uban. Resentment. Instead, we have to let go and that. To let go. It doesn't matter right or wrong sila. It doesn't matter right or wrong. What matter is our relationship unto Him. The more you will be overcome on that, makahimo ka ng butanga, then the better you will grow. You will go on the ladder of Jacob. You will go up. Again, another step to walk. Another step to climb. Step to go up. So, ingana na ato ang walk na to, ang journey na to sa kwan. Until when we are ready, because we have to overcome the darkness in ourselves. That is our evil inclination, our ego, what is our fleshy desire, our unsa pa ng mga lasting desire, the lust of the eyes, everything. Our character nga gahion ta, stubborn ta, we're not able to kanang kwan dili pa ta ka overcome og mga kanang mga resentment, mga bitterness. Dili pa kita ka kwan ana, dili pa gani kita ka overcome ana. We are not healed. We are not loving ourselves. We are not loving ourselves. The moment we love ourselves, how do you this I repeat again, to love ourselves is to have a shalom. We must have shalom. Because pag wala ka na ma-healed na ka, you are feel gloomy na ka. So wala na kay mga kalagot, wala na kay mga hatred, ingana na siya. Mawa na siya mga kalagot nimo. Kay ngano na overcome na nimo. You know? When you say sorry to the others, not to please them, it is for you, it is for us. Na kita mahil ta. Mahil ta. Why? Pag naa pa kay pride, you are not healed. I tell you, you are not healed. You are not okay. You punish yourself. You're not loving yourself. Because why? You don't have shalom. You have no shalom if we keep on bitterness, resentment, hatred to others. You keep in shalom. Di pa ta na ayo, anak. And this is how we grow. If we overcome with that, to really in conflict with others, and you don't say sorry, you are not healed. You are not healed before Elohim. And you are, why? But if you keep going with that, di pa ka mahil, mulikay ka lang, I tell you, magbalik-balik na siya sa imong kinabuhi. You will be in the same journey. You will mahilom ra nagkadiyot, mubalik na pud na. Kaya nga naman, wala man kay reconciliation sa imong kaugalingon. Wa ka mag-reconcile, gipanisan, papirme imong kaugalingon. Na pud ni balik na pud ni. Unsa imong buhaton? Wa na pud, resentment, until ma-free. Instead, mulit go kag, ug imo na lang nang isalig sa Elohim. Sa mata. It's painful, di ba? Because ang pride sa tao, mo na pinaka-sensitive nga matarog nato ang atong pride. Madili ta mahimo maka paubos atong kaugalingon. I tell you, if you want to be redemption of Mashiach, because of di pa ta ready, it will not. Because the moment, the time na good nga, it is a time of redemption. It will be the hardest time if you are not learning. If we are not learning from this, it will be in the hard way nga mulit go ka ng mga butanga. Kay many, it will be, I tell you, it will be an more oppression in our Mitzrayim world, in our flesh. Our flesh is our Mitzrayim. Our flesh. And this flesh is, who is in charge with this? The evil inclination, and that is the will of Nahash. The will of Nahash. Nga namang will of Nahash? What does Hava said when Elohim asked them? He said, oh, the serpent. They are the one who is the one who instead mangayo og sorry. Diba? Mga isang sorry sa Elohim. Forgive me, Abba. For we feel in our flesh. Diba? Forgive me. Where's the shalom? Do you think we have the shalom? What sila shalom? What does Adam, what does Adam reply to Elohim? This woman you give to me. Accusation again, projecting again. You are not healed. And instead from that, they were being, the death came there. And it was start with the physical world and the flesh, which is the coat of skin. That was our struggle. But we are in Mashiach. Our spirit person is saved through Mashiach, but our flesh is not. So now we are in this time. Have you seen now what's going on now in our time? The Pharaoh is continue to oppress. Continue to oppress. This is, he continue to remove until we let go. We let go all this for a reason they are there. How do you overcome that? It's only by letting go. The same, letting go. To let go with ourselves and to trust Elohim. We submit unto Elohim. This flesh must be submit unto Elohim. This our character must be submit unto Elohim. This pride of us we have to let go. Because if we are not learning from that, it will be in the hard way. I tell you, it will be in the hard way. Okay? Birahon ka jud taman ana ug magbalik-balik na sa imong kinabuhi. You may escape from people, but not in the circumstances of life. You may be escape in people nga imong naka-encounter, but if dili ka maka-overcome ana nga circumstances sa imong life, because you always projecting your negative emotions to others, you are still not healed. Nga mulikay ka lang para mawala ng sakit nimo. It's not so. You have no shalom with that. You may think that is shalom for you. Yes, it will shalom for a moment. Because the moment you are not overcome with that, the enemy is going, you will be encounter the same into the other circumstances na other nga imo matagbo na po. So, it is so. That is in the wilderness. They come out from Egypt. When we are in the blood of Messiah, we follow, we obey. How many years naman ta nag-keep og kanang Torah? How many we keep the feast of the Pisak? How many years did you understand that spiritually? Yes, that is about us. About us. Our flesh. Our flesh. Our mga karakter na to. Mga negative karakter na to. It is written, the flesh, there's the fruit of the spirit and the work of the flesh. This is, we have to let go that. We are learning to let go all this. Number one is pride. Number one is pride. And if we will not overcome that pride, then you will have to encounter that. And the day you always keep escaping from that, and then you are not overcoming because you think you have shalom, because you win your conflict to others, I will tell you, it will come back. It will come back. This is what happened to the children of Israel when they received the Torah in Mount Sinai, and in the wilderness, they are murmuring. They want to go back to Egypt. They want to go back to Egypt. Why? Because what is in Egypt is what pleased in their flesh. What is, your ego is inflated because you can do what you want. But you are in Elohim. He is your father, and he is the one who will mold you to become you brighter and brighter, the light that he has given us in through Mashiach. So the moment that we are ready the moment we become to overcome this, and we become a holier unto Elohim, because you are set apart, you learn to set apart yourself, then it is the time the redemption will, physically with the redemption, you are ready to receive the redemption of Mashiach. So if we are not ready with our flesh to let go all those, we are beating our own. We are not loving ourselves. So in order that we love ourselves, we love our neighbors, we have to love ourselves. Not in the egoistic way. It is the love that is connected unto Elohim. The love that Elohim has given unto Mashiach. He is the one. We are become a part of the soul of Mashiach. The part of the soul of Mashiach. So, different what function you have to do that. Because if not, that is, you are in the other side. in the other side. You are still in Egypt. You are still in the will of Nahash. You, because imong gifeed imong flesh anang dapita. And it you will be consumed from that. The day when it is in the hard way will be mag-rinse na gyud taman ba? Mag-rinse na gyud taman. So mo na siya nga, we have to overcome. It's not an easy decision, because if only lang sa atong kagalingon, we always choose with our ego nga kita mo daog ta. But no, if we are in Messiah, you have many things to sacrifice yourself, to sacrifice our flesh, to sacrifice our ego, to be, in order to be you are a living sacrifice unto Elohim. So that's I can share ninyo nga it's a journey and a battle in life to go at our own Mitzrayim, and that is our flesh. Shalom, shalom.